Hello, I'm Song. Today's beginner story is 보물찾기, treasure hunt. Let's get started. 어느 날 여우 집에 편지가 왔어요. 뒷산에서 제일 큰 바위를 찾으세요. 그 바위에서 연못 쪽으로 5걸음 가면 보물 상자가 있습니다. 먼저 찾는 분에게 보물을 드리겠습니다. 여우는 서둘러 뒷산으로 달려갔어요. 가장 큰 바위를 찾은 후에 연못 쪽으로 천천히 5걸음을 걸었어요. 심장이 두근두근 뛰었어요. 여우는 삽으로 땅을 파기 시작했어요. 어느 날 여우 집에 편지가 왔어요. 어느 날 consists of 어느, which can mean certain or which, depending on the context, and 날 meaning day, which together mean one day or a certain day. 여우 means fox, 집 means house, and attached to 여우집 is a location particle indicating a destination or direction. 편지 means letter, and 가 is the subject marker showing that the letter is the subject doing the action. 왔어요 comes from the verb 오다, to come, conjugated into the polite past tense. Literally, it means one day to the fox's house, a letter came. So this sentence means one day a letter arrived at the fox's house. 뒷산에서 제일 큰 바위를 찾으세요. 뒷산 is a compound noun combining 뒤 meaning back and 산 meaning mountain. Notice the 시옷 in the middle? It is a spelling feature found in some native Korean compound words. So the whole word means the mountain behind the house. Attached to it is 에서. You already learned that 에서 can mark the place where an action happens, like 학교에서 공부해요. But in this sentence, 에서 works a little differently. It means in or within. 제일 is an adverb meaning the most, and 큰 comes from the adjective 크다, to be big, change it into its noun modifying form, 큰, to describe the next noun, 바위, rock. Finally, 찾으세요 comes from 찾다, to find, combined with 으세요. The ending 으세요 can be used in two ways. First, to describe the action of a person of higher status. For example, while you say 저는 학교에 가요. For an elder like a grandmother, you say 할머니는 학교에 가세요. Second, to politely request or instruct someone to do something. For example, changing 여기 앉아요 to 여기 앉으세요. In this sentence, since the letter writer is giving a polite instruction, it is an honorific ending used for giving requests. Please find. Because it is used as a polite instruction here, the implied subject is you. So the letter says, find the biggest rock on the mountain behind. 그 바위에서 연못 쪽으로 5걸음 가면 보물 상자가 있습니다. 그 means that, referring to the rock mentioned in the previous sentence. Attached to 바위 is 에서. So far, we've learned two meanings of 에서. First, a location where an action happens, as in 학교에서 공부해요. And second, a broader area or scope, as in 뒷산에서 제일 큰 바위. So, which meaning is it here? Or does 에서 mean something different, such as from? Let's read a bit more to find out. 연못 means pond, 쪽 means side, and 으로 marks direction. As you may know, 으로 has several uses, including direction, as in 오른쪽으로 가요, go to the right, or means or instrument, as in 연필로 써요, write with a pencil. Here, it clearly marks direction. 연못 쪽으로 means toward the pond. 5 means 5, and 걸음 means step. In fact, 걸음 is a noun derived from the verb 걷다, to walk. Do you remember learning the expression 걸어서 by walking in the previous lesson? 가면 comes from 가다, to go, combined with 면, the same ending you've already seen in 그러면. Looking at the whole phrase up to this point, it becomes clear why 에서 means from here, making 그 바위에서 mean from that rock. Expression like A에서 B로 and A에서 B까지 are common patterns that mean from A to B. Also, 에서 also means from when it marks where movement begins. For example, in 어디에서 오셨어요? Where are you from? 에서 means from for the same reason. So, 그 바위에서 연못 쪽으로 5걸음 가면 literally means if you walk 5 steps from the rock toward the pond. 보물 상자 consists of 보물, treasure, and 상자, box, meaning treasure chest, followed by the subject marker 가. The verb that follows is 있다, to exist. As we have seen several times in previous books, 있다 is always paired with the subject markers 이 or 가. And 씁니다 is the formal polite sentence ending. So, putting it all together, the full sentence means if you take 5 steps from the rock toward the pond, there is a treasure chest. 먼저 찾는 분에게 보물을 드리겠습니다. 먼저 is an adverb meaning first. 찾는 comes from the verb 찾다, to find, with the ending 는, which turns the verb into an adjective form to describe the noun 분, a polite word for 사람, person. So, 먼저 찾는 분 means first finding person, the person who finds it first. Why is 찾는 pronounced as 찾는, not 찾는? In Korean, final consonants are simplified into just a few representative sounds. The bottom consonant, 지읒, is pronounced as t sound, like the English t. However, when a final consonant meets a nasal sound like n or m, it changes into a nasal sound too. In 찾는, because it is followed by n, the t sound changes to an n sound. That's why it is pronounced 찾는 instead of 찾는. Here are a few similar examples. 옛날, 끝나요, 거짓말. Attached to 분 is 에게, a particle that means to when giving something to a person. 보물 means treasure, followed by the object marker 을. This marker shows that treasure is the direct object of the action. 드리겠습니다 comes from 드리다, a humble form of 주다, to give, combined with 겠습니다. While 겠습니다 can indicate a future action, when used with the first person, it often expresses the speaker's strong intention or promise. Also, because 드리다 is a humble verb, the implied subject is naturally understood to be I or we. So, this sentence means I will give the treasure to the person who finds it first. 여우는 서둘러 뒷산으로 달려갔어요. 여우 again means fox, and 는 is the topping marker, meaning as for the fox, or simply the fox. 서둘러 comes from the verb 서두르다, to hurry, used here in its adverbial form to mean in a hurry. 뒷산으로 uses the particle 으로. Remember the two meanings of 으로 we learned earlier? Direction and to. Here it clearly means direction, so it translates to toward the mountain behind. 달려갔어요 is a compound verb combining 달리다, to run, and 가다, to go, in the polite past tense, meaning ran. So this sentence means the fox hurriedly ran to the mountain behind. 가장 큰 바위를 찾은 후에 연못 쪽으로 천천히 5걸음을 걸었어요. 가장 means the most. It has the same meaning as 제일, which we saw earlier, and they can be used interchangeably. 큰 comes from 크다, to be big, so together with 바위, it refers to the largest rock. The object marker 를 attached to 바위, showing that the rock is the direct object receiving the action of the verb that follows. 찾다, to find, with 은 후에, which means after doing something. You might also have heard 은 다음에 before. They mean the exact same thing. So, 가장 큰 바위를 찾은 후에 and 가장 큰 바위를 찾은 다음에 are completely interchangeable. 연못 쪽으로 means toward the pond. 천천히 is the adverb meaning slowly. 5걸음 means 5 steps, and 을 is the object marker. Finally, 걸었어요 is the polite past tense of 걷다, to walk. The subject is omitted in this sentence as well, but from the context, we know that it is the fox. So, putting it all together, after finding the largest rock, the fox slowly walked 5 steps toward the pond. 심장이 두근두근 뛰었어요. 심장 means heart, as the physical organ that pumps blood. Unlike the English word heart, which is often used for emotions or feelings, 심장 usually refers to the physical organ only. And E is the subject marker showing that heart is the subject of the action. 두근두근 is an onomatopoeia describing a heart pounding with excitement or nervousness. 뛰었어요 comes from the verb 뛰다 in the polite past tense. While 뛰다 usually means to jump, it can also describe a heart beating. You can think of it as a heart jumping with excitement or nervousness. So, this translates to Fox's heart was pounding fast. 여우는 삽으로 땅을 파기 시작했어요. 여우, fox, and 는 is the topping marker. So it means as for the fox or the fox. 삽 means shovel followed by the particle 으로. Remember our two meanings of 으로? This time it marks the tool or instrument. So 삽으로 means with a shovel or using a shovel. 땅 means ground or dirt, followed by the object marker 을, showing that ground is the object directly affected by the action. 파기 시작했어요 comes from 파다, to dig, combined with 기 시작하다, to start doing something in the past tense. So the whole sentence translates to the fox started digging the ground with a shovel. 어느 날 여우 집에 편지가 왔어요. 뒷산에서 제일 큰 바위를 찾으세요. 그 바위에서 연못 쪽으로 5걸음 가면 보물 상자가 있습니다. 먼저 찾는 분에게 보물을 드리겠습니다. 여우는 서둘러 뒷산으로 달려갔어요. 가장 큰 바위를 찾은 후에 연못 쪽으로 천천히 5걸음을 걸었어요. 심장이 두근두근 뛰었어요. 여우는 삽으로 땅을 파기 시작했어요. 어느 날 여우 집에 편지가 왔어요. 뒷산에서 제일 큰 바위를 찾으세요. 그 바위에서 연못 쪽으로 5걸음 가면 보물 상자가 있습니다. 먼저 찾는 분에게 보물을 드리겠습니다. 여우는 서둘러 뒷산으로 달려갔어요. 가장 큰 바위를 찾은 후에 연못 쪽으로 천천히 5걸음을 걸었어요. 심장이 두근두근 뛰었어요. 여우는 삽으로 땅을 파기 시작했어요. 어느 날 여우 집에 편지가 왔어요. 뒷산에서 제일 큰 바위를 찾으세요. 그 바위에서 연못 쪽으로 5걸음 가면 보물 상자가 있습니다. 먼저 찾는 분에게 보물을 드리겠습니다. 여우는 서둘러 뒷산으로 달려갔어요. 가장 큰 바위를 찾은 후에 연못 쪽으로 천천히 5걸음을 걸었어요. 심장이 두근두근 뛰었어요. 여우는 삽으로 땅을 파기 시작했어요. For your homework, read the story aloud several times. After that, record yourself and listen carefully to your own voice. This is the key part of the practice to hear yourself and notice what you can improve. When you finish, write in the comments 숙제했어요, which means I did my homework. Keep reading at your own pace and I'll see you for the next story. Enjoy your practice and see you soon.